Thank you for being
There it
a
is, that's funny.
friend. Travel the
Down
world.
the road.
And back
And
again.
back
There
again.
it is. There it is.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and
Road
back again. Your
Your
heart
heart
is
is
true.
true.
You're a
You're
friend and a
a
confidant.
confidant.
And
There we
if
go.
you threw a party,
Hello and welcome to Table for Five with No Reservations. Take a seat at the table for a fresh, sweet, salty, tart, and pleasantly bitter conversation.
Thank you for taking a seat at the table. Tonight we are on Series 8, Episode 5. Joining me at the table tonight for our No Reservations episode is Jamie Ramos.
Hello.
Jamie Ramos. Rachel Flanagan.
Hey.
Kim McIsaac.
hello.
Tabitha Cabrera.
Hello.
And I'm Jennifer Dunn. Thank you for
I
joining
love
us. Ladies, I have a sidekick with me tonight, so might be double duns tonight. We're not sure what's going on over here, but how is everyone's week? Dare I ask? Who would like to
Holy
start?
moly.
I could go first.
Yeah, how's your week, Jamie?
I always say that and I can't remember my week. What happened this week?
First of all, it's Monday, so this is a jacked question. You just get to generalize.
So, okay, going into this next week.
Yeah.
So Friday, I got a call from the school that my son had been exposed to COVID, like everyone else in the world, apparently. So we're remote this starting tomorrow because today we're recording on Martin Luther King Day. So I'm really looking forward to that because we'd only done it for preschool. And then during the actual COVID, like the fall of 2020, we opted out of school and we just did an autism center instead. So my son had somewhere to go every day. So this will be my first time really doing a remote. And I'm very nervous about it because I don't think it's going to happen and not going to get any work done or anything this week, probably because my son's around. And then we're also hopefully going on vacation later this week, as long as no one gets sick.
Right.
So
That's 2022.
I mean, at least your child will learn something remote. Mine would learn nothing.
I don't
There'd be no education happening.
I mean, I'm supposed to sit him at the computer every 20 to 30 minutes for this. Like
What Auntie Jen just actually said was, I'll check in with you tomorrow at 10:15.
his teacher's like, he sits fine at his computer at school. I'm like, yeah, that's at school. You guys don't, yeah. So we'll see how it goes.
He doesn't have as many rooms that he can go to at school.
Or a device or games or a TV
Or
or
his family.
cousins
Yeah,
that are
his
there,
family,
right?
Yeah.
And we did it for preschool because when for COVID first shut down, he was in preschool. And that was like 20 minutes a day. And we barely survived that. So I don't know. I'm supposed to do like 3 hours a day. Anyway, I'm not looking forward to that. That's my week and my upcoming week. I just covered both. So there we go.
Jamie, do you want to tell the audience where you're going on vacation?
I'm going to Disney World, hopefully.
Happiest
And
place
if she
on earth.
didn't want to tell them, she can edit that out. Did you see her
I will
eyeball?
tell people. Well, it's like we planned it. This is with my in-laws. We planned it so long ago. We pushed it to 2022, thinking we would be in the clear.
Yep.
And
here
if
we are.
literally this trip had been a few weeks ago, no one would think twice about it. But now here we are with freaking Omicron. What's his name? Omicron.
Oh, he's
What's his
terrible.
name? What's his name?
Yeah.
That fella's name.
Kim knows all the combinations. What is
Yeah,
it?
let's slide
Kim's
over
our
to you,
CDC.
Kimmy. How is your week going?
Oh my God, it's going. So it's Omicron, like, the transformer.
Omicron. What's the flu? What's the flurona? Or
Yeah, the Florona. And then they're saying maybe Delta and Omicron had a baby. I don't know if that's true, but my sister read
Deltacron
that.
or something?
What's a
Deltacron,
cron?
yeah.
No,
Delta
I made
Cron.
the name up, but Delta.
No, it's on the internet. I saw it. Deltacron.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, it's on
Yeah.
the internet, she said.
You're
Well, it may as
starting
well
to-
be the
So-
CDC.
it's
So,
This
We have
sounds like
had-
Transformers or something.
yeah, that's
I
that's
know.
what I said the other day.
Omicron, flurona.
So as many of you know,
Deltacron.
I run a daycare, and this is what happened. We had.
This is what
I just want everyone to know this, okay? So
that's
I
it.
had a parent
That's what happened.
message me and say their son tested positive over the break. He was out for 3 weeks. We closed for 2 weeks, and then the week after Christmas he didn't come. And that he had finished his quarantine and he had no symptoms for 7 days. And I said, okay, can you send me his test results? And the parent never answered. And by the time I got back around to realizing she never answered, it was the next day. So then I emailed her and asked again. And lo and behold, they thought the 5-day rule that they saw on the TV applied to their child. It does not apply to children at my daycare because we all know that they
Z-snap.
can't correctly, because the rule goes 5 days. If you have no symptoms and then 5 days of wearing a mask completely for the whole day, which we know a 2-year-old can't do. Also, this parent dropped their child off at daycare with no mask on. So like they only read the 5 days is all they read, and they didn't read anything else. Now we had 3 staff infected from this kid, 1 my daughter, and 3 out of the 4 children that were in the class. So people, it is contagious after day 5. Just let me warn you.
It is.
So now my daughter brings it home to us because she, it's COVID is the gift that just keeps giving. We have a small house. There's not a lot of isolation in this house. So I kind of avoided it, but then my husband got it and then he gave it to me. Thanks, son. So now I have it. And then Alyssa, we tested once and she was negative. I can't get her to leave the house to do a test because she knows something's up. Every time I try to get her dressed, she tells me no. And she had a very good communication episode where she told me,
And here comes the breakthrough.
yep, she told me stay home right now. As she was face down on the
4
couch
words.
with her legs kicking, but so we did the home test that was negative, but I also did a home test this morning that was negative, and then obviously I have no voice. I had symptoms yesterday, and I'm like, there's no way I don't have it. So I went to the doctors, and then lo and behold, I'm positive. So I mean, there's just a lot of stuff with this. And then poor Alyssa was out of school. I kept her out the week after Christmas to avoid her getting exposed, hopefully. She got exposed on the following Monday, and then she had to be out for 10 days. Now she has to be out for another 10 days because it was in the house, and I don't even know how much longer now she's on week 4, going into week 4. She's losing her mind. She's not sleeping. She's barely eating because her sleep schedule's so messed up. So she's just, going through waves where she's doing okay and then not doing good because the sleep just messes her up so bad. So yeah. Yep. So
It's so hard to enter that loop. It's like the snowball, and you've been there so many
And it's
times that it's
I know.
oh.
So for example, it's 11 p.m. here. She's still awake. She woke up at 1:30 this morning. And she'll go to sleep at some point, and then she'll get up. She might get up at 3, 2, and then she'll be up for the whole day again.
Yeah.
It's she has no internal sense of day and night. There's just, I don't think she has a sense of it. And she knows by getting up and going to her program, and that kind of keeps her somewhat sleeping. I mean, she still doesn't sleep great, but it's not like this. Sometimes when this happens, she might in 3 days get 9 hours sleep. It's just,
Yeah.
And
my daughter doesn't nap, so her body cannot register a nap. So anytime she sleeps, that's her sleep for the night. It doesn't matter what time it is. So she
Or how
falls
long
asleep
it lasts, 13 hours or 15 minutes.
she'll go to sleep at 5, and if she wakes up at 11, well, her day is starting at 11 p.m. It's just
Yeah.
a mess, and it's just super stressful with work because I have you have parents on each end, and they're out complaining, and it's thanks Omicron.
Kimmy's in a land of rainbows and butterflies.
Yes, I am telling you, it's just now it's at work, now it's at home. It's just there's no end in sight, except in Florida. It does not exist in Florida.
That's where I'm going.
You'll be fine.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited that you get to pop on the ears, Jame, and just
I have it ready to go.
let her
I would
bust.
just like you to know I do not think it's the happiest place on earth, but hey, have fun.
It is for my kids. That's the reason. I mean, it is without it's for me, it's not the happiest place on earth, but I'll say it's fun without kids. With kids, it's miserable, but they're happy. So I do it for them.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, she did seeing the princesses and stuff, but now she's a little ride seeker. So now I think, I didn't know then that she loved them. She friggin' loves rides. So anyway, Tabitha Cabrera, how is your week, friend? We love you, Kimmy.
Love you too.
We'll keep it at bay for you. Got you.
Freaking
Got you.
Omicron. Deltacron.
Oh, is that how you say it?
I don't know.
Omicron? I don't know.
I cannot wait for the 50
I'd go with the lawyer's
Transformer movie to
pronunciation.
come out.
Throwing it out
You're
there.
right.
Guys, don't worry. There's a new variant already. It's in France right now. So
What they
That's what
call
I'm saying.
it?
By the time this comes out, there's gonna be another one, and people are like,
Yeah,
"Why
they
is
say
this
it's
one
scientists today said it'll be not a good strain.
Oh
That's
Jesus,
coming our
what's his
way,
name
so-
or what
None
city
of
did
them
they
are.
find
Buckle
it?
up.
What's it called?
Yeah.
So we're up on it.
It
Okay.
has some ridiculous name. That's
Oh,
like a
I'm
lot of
sure.
letters.
Remember when we thought that
It's not even a word. It's like HIHUM. I don't know. It's something weird.
Remember
Stupid.
when we used to call it the coronavirus, guy?
Yeah.
The Rona.
Who comes up with these names?
2 years later, we're still talking about this.
We should do it like how we do the hurricanes and be like, oh, this is
Sandra.
Hey, Ruth is
Sandra
coming.
strain.
Sandra.
Ruth. Sorry to all the Sandras out there, but that's the first name that came to my
I don't think
mind. I
there's-
don't know.
this is the this
We're
is
not
the
sure why
Karen
though, are
strain.
we, Tabitha?
No, I don't know. There's no
This
reason
is-
for that.
This is the Karen strain, you know.
Whatever. Stupid strain. Stupicron.
Oh,
Life-
Supercron.
Life ruiner cron.
How was
our
your week,
days of
friend?
cron.
Isolation
Go
cron.
tabs, go.
Wait, can I just say I just went to
Cheers.
Google to find out what the new variant's called, which I can't find. And the number one question on the list is, can COVID-19 spread through sexual intercourse?
2 years later.
well, through the close contact.
If you're
Which
breathing.
position?
I mean, I don't know what you're having sex with.
If
'cause
two
that's a-
people-
you know,
How
Here's
many
what we
legs?
need the CDC to answer.
Yeah.
If two people are together intimately, how many days until they can return to work? Do they have to wear a mask? Do they have to be socially distanced?
Just 5
I
days.
was masked. It's fine.
Doggy style only people.
Yes, exactly, Kim. I knew there was a solution.
Only have intercourse every 5
Follow up for more
Yes,
advice.
And
Wear
the
a
one with the
mask.
most, the highest
mask.
immunity. Take that, Fauci.
Fauci, we got the answers. You're at table for 5.
Yeah, I don't know why they aren't calling us.
We know. Kim can basically be
I
the
feel a
CDC
meme
at this
coming.
point.
A
She knows
doggy
all
style
the
Be
table
better
for-
than them. Their new rules suck.
Welcome to the.
IHU.
Oh, IHU.
Oh, I hate you too.
I hate
In
you.
French,
No more
COVID.
of you.
I hate you.
Omicron.
It's literally
Leave it.
I hate you. It's literally the name of it.
I hate
What I see here,
you,
unless
virus.
this is from the 5th, so I don't know if it's changed since then. And it's backwards for you guys, so
I mean, I can't read that. It looks like a Bible. Little tiny baby.
this is actually the Bible.
Yeah.
God predicted it.
Called the
Uh,
Bible's
Dr.
at the
Google.
table.
Tabs, I'm
Oh.
so sorry. I'm gonna mute
Sorry,
everybody.
Tabs.
Do you want me to mute everybody?
I don't.
How
What
was your
happened this
week?
week? Who knows?
Back to you, friend.
Jen,
How was your
I
week,
mean-
Tabitha?
What happened? You guys tell me. I don't know.
Your friend had a baby. I don't know what's like.
Oh,
Oh, you're-
yeah, my
Little
friend
Emma?
had a baby.
Yeah, Emma Ziggy.
She's
Shout
so
out
cute.
The babes.
Got to meet the infant, whole snuggle a tiny baby.
Mm.
So cute.
And
Yeah,
for
does
those of us
nothing
that
for
didn't
me.
get to snuggle a tiny baby, at least we got to send baby pictures, 50,000 of our own
Oh,
babies.
then we all went
pictures.
down this track where we were
Yes, we
looking
did.
at all our kids' baby pictures.
Except for Kim, because she was napping pre-discovery of her diagnosis.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Woke up
napping
to
in the-
10,000. We're like, Kimmy's gonna wake up and wonder what are all these pictures?
Yes.
You were so smiley talking about your babes. Tabs.
Oh, I love those baby pictures so much.
Mm.
Made my ovaries ache. All these
Oh,
baby pictures.
fine.
So yes, that happened. I don't.
You got the
Guys.
laundry off your table. That happened.
Oh,
Movie today.
oh yes, I went and saw Scream the remix, which highly recommend. Oh yes, so this is good. Thanks, guys, for remembering what happening is in my life. This was today, and I don't remember that this happened.
You're doing great.
The kids had their program. Nick and I both had the
Doing
day off
great.
together, so we went to the movies together, which
Nice.
generally these days we go by ourselves. And we saw the Scream remix, which was excellent. I highly recommend. It had all the flavor of the original Scream. If you are a child product of the 80s like myself, when this was popular, when it came out.
Is it in the 90s?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're born in the 80s,
Oh.
you were around the age when Scream was,
Doing
terrifying.
its thing.
I love a scary movie.
I won't
signing
even
up.
watch Rocky 4 at night alone in the dark. Okay, you think I'm watching Scream?
You would not
The
like
Dolph
Scream.
Lundgren's coming
You
for me
would
through those
not like
doors.
Scream. It would
I-
not help
I was born
With
in
the-
1983
with the terror.
and I do
God,
not
I'm so
scream.
young.
No.
You don't like scary movies either?
In elementary school.
I
I
don't
love
either.
scary movies, but ever since I had kids, I can't watch as many as I used to. But I do watch like serial killer crap. So I don't know what.
There is something rather debunking about a scary movie by going with your husband as arm candy in the morning.
Oh
to
yeah,
a
it
scary
was
movie.
10
I mean,
a.m.
at least it
or
was
11
that.
a.m. It was 11 a.m. We got our
to go see
snacks.
Scream, you big
We saw
loser. I'm so
Scream. We saw Scream. There was one other lady in the movie theater. It was awesome.
Was she alone?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was
She
me.
was
It was me.
It
alone.
was Jamie. Jamie was there.
That's why she
Came
was
in
there at
with-
11
Came
a.m.
in with her snacks. And
At
it was
least she had the
me
sense to
and
do that.
me and Nick in the third wheel.
I love
Random
how-
stranger.
Here at the table, we've now become a source for your news. We're giving you the new variant, letting you know what's going on in the COVID
you're
world.
welcome,
And now we're
world.
giving movie reviews.
Yes. Yes.
Move
Yeah.
over Cisco
We're-
and Ebert. Or
Yeah, we're kind
whomever
of that
has taken their
one-stop
space.
shop.
Oh,
Here
there
we
was
are.
a lot of slashing and horror in that today. It was everything I needed in my life. All kinds of violence.
Let it out.
So yeah, I also climbed into a cabinet with my daughter this week, which was pretty spectacular and amazing. She communicated to me non-verbally to get inside the cabinet with her, and I fit my 5'2" frame inside the cabinet.
After
then
you.
Thank
Took
God you don't
every
have my
single
frame,
thing out.
Tabitha.
After she showed me, so my daughter's been climbing into the cabinets and she could crawl and closing the door. It's just something she does. She's obsessed with the kitchen, opens the fridge, opens the cabinets. And so she took me to the cabinet with all the appliances, had me take each one out, and then had me crawl inside, pushed me from behind to get into the cabinet, which I was positive I was not going to fit in.
She's like, get me a shoehorn. You're going in.
I told her a couple times I had to
need a
take
spatch.
the shelving out to climb in there with her, and then she climbed in, and then she closed the door and she looked me directly in the face, which for our kids is like for an extended period of time, held her hand up into a stream of light that was shining on the cabinet wall, and then looked at me again and showed me her fingers dancing in the light. So it was a pretty spectacular
Cabineting.
cabineting. Yes. Yeah, we were in there for about 15 minutes watching the light dance.
Then your
and
legs went numb.
my neck,
Time to
I
get
was
out.
kind of like
Eh.
kinked up against the side of the cabinet.
Jen has one question. Did you clean out the cabinet while you were?
Like,
Yes. Did you bring a bleach wipe with
cleaning
you?
it in there? I mean,
There was no cleaning.
I love
up.
that Nora made her face everything like a Macy's when she took it out too. It was like, line it up, mom. You know
Yeah,
what house this is.
each-
We are
each-
on the spectrum. This says KitchenAid right here. This
Each-
says Ninja
yes,
right here.
all the appliances were lined up on the counter, and then Nick was in the front room and he came into the kitchen and we were inside the cabinet with the door shut, and he was like,
my
what are you
ladies go?"
two ladies doing in there? It was spectacular.
just hanging out, Nick. We're just hanging out.
Yeah, there's like something about our kids letting you in that way
Yeah.
that is just like something
Billy
you-
calls those, my mom is going to blog about those moments.
yes, yes, yes. And for her, I mean, Nixon has eye contact, but it's a lot. Nora has a lot less than he does. I mean, extended eye contact, and
You
so
have to
she's
be able to keep pace with her to make eyes.
yeah. And so if she's
moving.
if she's looking you directly in the face, it's pretty powerful most of the time whenever you catch her in that space, So that's part of my week.
When
Pretty
she's a
fantastic.
teenager, I'm going to remind you that you used to think it was powerful.
This
captivating kind of way.
Yes. Yes. And also I can fit inside a cabinet. So I'm doing pretty good over
Winning.
here.
Winning, Tabitha. That's a heck of a roundup of your week. Let me tell you, because my butt would not fit in
Must
my
be,
cabinet.
must be
That's
that
what you
good
know.
eating that you've been doing this month.
Yes.
Fit that
It's all
clearly
the
why I
yoga.
cannot get.
Yoga contortioning. That's helping
I'm
me fit.
wondering, did you get to check a box for that 15 minutes?
I should have. Yes.
Yes.
Physical activity of cramming yourself.
Take that,
into a
January
cabinet.
goal boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Something that I will for sure always, remember that moment of her face in the light, in the darkness of the cabinet. So pretty cool. That was my week.
Rachel Flanagan, how has your week been? You got some things to say, friend.
I have a little bit to talk about right now.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I do. My week in general has been weird. It's the same as everybody in the sense of we're like in and out of the COVID stuff all the time. I feel like we have a big dry erase board on our door going out of our house. And I literally have like the date for this therapist. This is this many days for her. This is this many days from this stupid one, so that I just know that we're like out of the clear of that one from school, that exposure from school. Sealy is in a program where every god dang day it seems to change like the regulation within the structure of their company in terms of like, is the choice being made because they don't have staff? Is the choice being made because they are trying to keep all these other kids safe? Like, it's situational, and what I guess I mean by that is like we were trying to get to this date where Celia was fully vaccinated, which was December 17th. And so we were supposed to like be able to like get through these moments a little bit easier because of her vaccination status. Anyways, no, that's not true. So we were testing as often as ever and holding our breath. I'm not really sure. And by that, I mean, she's still licking everything and we're praying a lot. I have no idea. But then today, I wake up. Yesterday I was pretty disconnected. We've been on this like big long family weekend and I don't know, just our house was requiring more of me. But this morning I had like a moment to scroll in my social media, and Natalie Vecchione, who we've had on the podcast, shared this thing this morning. Love her.
Yeah, she's great.
She's good. She's good people. She's so smart. And what a mom, right?
Yeah.
She writes this beautiful thing. I see a bit. I scroll a skosh, like, what is this thing about? And in doing so, I go to the next post and I realize my whole feed is flooded with the fact that Saturday Night Live just did a skit over the weekend. It's Monday now, but just did the skit on Saturday of this winter formal skit. And it's about like this one-stop shop. And it's funny when you're talking about the stretch Toyota Corolla featured in this like winter formal giddy up, but none of it about this kid, Donovan, their kid, struck me as funny. They like go through from head to toe in this really, from my eye, super informed view of FAS, fetal alcohol syndrome. And then the punchline of this whole skit, you guys, is the mom saying that she drank through the whole pregnancy and she can guarantee all these features and benefits of their son Donovan that you can rent out for a winter formal. That's not going to have sex with your daughter. He's not going to even talk to her. He's not going to even, and they just go on this whole thing. It's just a train wreck. And, I was saying to you guys earlier that they wouldn't today in January of 2022, let a skit just like that about autism go. They would not in 2022 put a kid with Down syndrome on a 360 turntable and spin them around and point out their idiosyncrasies and their differences. Okay. And they put this freaking kid Donovan on a goddamn Lazy Susan in this skit, and they turned him around and showed his physical disabilities and his struggle. And they called out all of these things that, again, were a really informed picture of how someone could be affected by prenatal alcohol exposure. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off in a place that like, you guys made the point that you didn't know until you knew me and Celie, all the things that you know now, or you didn't know until we met Natalie, right? Like, but I'll tell you what, I see my kid on that turntable and it just makes me want to call an NBC with a blowhorn. I want change. I want Saturday Night Live to run a ad about this. I want there to be change.
Isn't the statistic for FASD 1 in 27?
I believe that's true right now.
Yes, 1 in 27.
And that is diagnosed. And we all know that is not a true and accurate depiction of what's happening.
So basically the amount of children affected by this classified disability
Yes.
is a large number of children in the United States and across the world affected by substance use in pregnancy,
Alcohol.
alcohol use in pregnancy.
Yes.
Yes.
And to that point, it isn't children. It is a lifelong condition like
Yes,
autism.
adults,
It is
yes.
and so, and to
That
your
was a
point,
good point.
Tabs, yes, I want to say that to another point, or to another conversation that we had earlier today, you guys, that Celie has nothing to do with the choices made while she was in utero. That's the fact. She has nothing to do with the choices made. And so she lives with this condition that affects every part of her. And if it doesn't affect the part of her, that does not mean that it couldn't affect the part of someone. Fetal alcohol syndrome, like autism, is a spectrum, and Celie's constellation is different than anyone else's. And Donovan had a really relatable spectrum, constellation of spectrum. I'm just disgusted. And so I'm all fired up on a Monday night. And I feel like it's important to say, I said this in a comment when Jamie shared earlier, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And, there is this call to action that has happened within each of the five of us to advocate for this community. And we didn't know as much as we know now before we entered it. And we hope that our presence in the community changes it for the better. And I'm straddling a couple, as we all are, communities. And right now, this one is, man, it's got the fire in my belly.
Well, I said to you, other than the obvious that it's extremely distasteful, like you said, Celie didn't have a choice in this. This was put on her and every other person born with this.
Yes.
And, so it's just horribly offensive. It's horribly offensive. It's insensitive and it's tacky.
Well, I was going to say too, I mean, I told you this earlier, Rich, as a mom to an autistic boy, that character is a lot like Jesse. And I don't know what Jesse will be like when he's a teenage boy or whatever that kid's age is supposed to be in the skit, but he's the joke. And that's disgusting. It's 2022. My son does not have a lot of those characteristics are like
that of the spectrum.
Autism
Yes.
spectrum.
So if you're
making
finding
fun of that,
us,
and then when they blatantly, they're making fun of people like that. And so whether or not
that's caused by autism or caused by something different.
Yeah. But then they blatantly call out FAS in it, basically by the mom saying she drank the whole time. It's just there was nothing better you could think of to be fun. That skit could have been funny in a million different ways, but they had to shame this child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
funny.
That's where I was saying the
is-
child, there's a ton of children because I
Mhm.
thought of the character Donovan as a child and the parents calling out
Yes.
his disability basically. And if you're a teenage boy or girl or someone in that age bracket who doesn't get to go to prom, who doesn't get asked to the
The
dance,
winter
who can't make it through a loud prom or only likes one song or whatever the other characteristics that they displayed in the skit, imagine finding that on the internet. Our kids are on YouTube like it's wizardry.
Well, and
they
Jesus
can
Christ,
find it.
when I was having unprotected sex, I was watching Saturday Night Live. Okay, I want you to know that. Those are two in the same. When I was younger, I was watching that. When I was that's inform people. And it is the youth that is watching this. This is a crucial time. Teach people not to be a jerk. Teach people to do better. All of it. It's
what it comes down
despicable.
to is nobody with a disability or a brain impairment should be the butt of a joke on live TV.
Period.
Right.
And if it's you don't understand that by now, then I don't know. There's literally no hope for you, because it's this is what we're trying to teach people and teach kids, not to bully kids with disabilities, not to make fun of people that are different, include everybody, be kind,
There's better to laugh at. There's funny stuff to laugh about. There's things that could unify us that we laugh together about.
And it's just dangerous, it's just dangerous, and you might not think of it that way if you don't have somebody with a disability or don't know somebody with fetal alcohol syndrome or don't have a child on the spectrum. You might not think of it that way, but that's the way we all think of it. That's the way, and not only disabilities, like even kids that just are different, that's
Yeah.
just,
Don't fit
know,
into
Yes.
the
you're
box.
really
Yep.
displaying that, and you're really like, it's kind of like, in a way, it is bullying.
It is bullying, and it's teaching this culture, and it's making it okay. I mean, you guys, they're
Which is
talking about the
reinforcing
crumbs
the idea
stuck on
that
this
they're
kid's
less than.
lip. They're talking about the fact that he can't connect with anybody until one song is played, and then he can't stop moving. They're talking about how he has to medically go to bed at 10 o'clock. Are you kidding me? To Tabs point 1 and 27, I believe that's right, Tabs.
Let me look it up just so we're sure.
I want that to be understood. That means that one in every 5 people in a room, four people in a room,
And really, like the
2 and
what
3
one
and a quarter people in a room.
one thing we talked about is that specifically FASD is something that comes with this layered of, and I'm just speaking from an observation, obviously I
Yeah.
don't have a connection to this, but this layered idea that it's something that shouldn't be talked about because of the mother's choice to use during the pregnancy and the blame that is associated with that. And I think, a lot of times women don't know they're pregnant. There's all
Yes.
different ways that this can form and shape into a child that has FASD. It's prevalent,
It's true.
as we've
Yes.
talked about,
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that there's a narrative where, like Natalie Vecchione in that community and you are trying to change the narrative of like, it's okay to talk about these things. And then to have an SNL skit come out and poke fun of this specific situation is harmful to the landscape
Effort.
of the conversation and to the services and to the the whole dialogue of the situation.
And the seriousness, it undercuts the whole thing.
Yes.
And it reinforces the stigma,
Yes, it does. Yep.
That's the stuff that unifies us, you guys. I mean, we are trying to do that daily in our writing for our children. What unifies us is this autism diagnosis, but really we've all talked about mental health. We've all talked about the family dynamics. We've all talked about the isolation. We've all talked about so many things. I am really willing to talk about all the things with fetal alcohol syndrome, and it is just as impactful in our family's life, and it's forever, and it's not just her brain. I mean, yes, we would say that
Can't
it's
find
the
it.
cause of Celie's brain damage, but it is also her whole body and her potential right now. I mean, truly, we are up against stuff that won't form. I mean, it's just uphill.
They don't have a picture of like how devastating it is to walk this path every single day for these kids.
I am
hard-
not talking about myself, Kim. I mean, in this way, like she carries such a burden, but I'm sitting on a hot pack right now. I had a spinal injection last week, all because somebody drank while they were pregnant with my kid. I'm trying to get my kid services. I have a freaking
I was going to say that it, of course it affects, sorry guys, I have a kid here. It affects Celie's body and her mind and her directly, but it also affects you and it affects Billy. And I mean, it affects your family. It's not just her that is living with it. You are living with it as well.
And if you don't want to see me, then you should see my impact of medical bills in this world and all the moms like me and all the daughters like mine and all of I mean, what way do you want to talk about how this is wrong?
Well, that's what I was just
Everybody
saying. Like,
needs to care. It's
they don't
everybody. It's taxing on your kid's school. If your kid doesn't have FAS, kids like mine are taxing your kid's school. You should be talking about it.
Well, actually, Rachel, I'll tell you what's interesting is I can only speak for my province, which is like a state. They are changing the autism funding sector, and it will now in 2025 not be exclusive to autism anymore. They're
Yeah.
opening up funding to FAS. They're opening up funding for children with Down syndrome, which is fantastic because autism was the only recognized disability. But
And
I told you
think
before,
as you
having
said me that
FAS,
there's actually
yeah.
2 of the FASDs in their stuff, not just FAS. I think Arnett is too. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. That's really hard. It's hard on the heart, and it.
Well, it's like you got to think of what
infuriating.
was going through these actors' minds as they were like playing this out. Like,
And
you
a whole
know,
week
like-
of editing, a whole week of the whole table. I mean, I've not been a host on SNL yet,
Yeah. We'll come on.
but
Invite us, SNL.
we'll help
whole
you write
table.
this wrong, Lauren.
The whole table
Yeah.
will show up.
we'll advise you what's not funny and what's funny.
I'll bring my
Yeah.
crutches.
Yeah.
Listen, the whole thing, I picture, like I said, I've not been there, but I do know that Kim K worked for 20 hours. Kimmy or Jen just told me that. Like,
Because
every,
her and I are very close. So
yeah.
she let me know how grueling it was.
I mean, Betty White told me a couple weeks ago, but a
Sure.
few weeks ago,
It's true.
back a couple weeks. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is we all know that there was a lot of people that heard every detail of this skit. And I will go back to the fact that, now that we've discussed it a little bit, it was like a really informed, insulting goddamn list. It was as though you took the top 20 things and knocked him down right off the thing while he's on that 360 spinner. And it just pisses me off. I want to thank you guys for listening to my soapbox. I will kindly slip right off here.
I would
Oh,
like
I'm
to also
sorry.
say,
I was gonna
speaking
say-
of Betty White, happy 100th birthday today, Miss Betty White. Today would have been her 100th birthday.
What about you, Jen? I don't think you gave us your week.
My week was good. Kaya went to school for a little tiny bit on Monday, and they called me and said she was not feeling well, so I had to go get, not COVID, she's not COVID, Kimmy, it wasn't that. And so she didn't go to
I'll be
school
the judge of that.
Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
I think we
Wednesday,
should name
Thursday.
Flovid.
Flovid, yes, Flovid. And then she went back Friday. She had a great day. And then we did our staycation last night
Oh my
that
god.
we didn't
Yeah.
get to do because of COVID. Excuse me, in December. So we did our staycation. We went to a local hotel. They had a water slide. We met my friend and her 3 kids, and we had a great time. And yeah, that was our week.
It looked
Love
so
it.
fun. I
Yeah,
love
it was
those
really
photos
fun.
of her smiling and all the.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
likes
she-
it. The kids are great. I mean, they don't skip a beat with her, and they don't treat her any differently. And London's 10, so she's not that much younger than Kaya. But just very nurturing and
I love it.
always making sure she's talking to her and trying to pull things out of her and just always including her. So it's always good. It's lots of fun. Good time. So yeah, that's our week, ladies. Whew.
Whew.
That was a lot wrapped up in that table this week. Pissed
Call us,
off
Lauren.
SNL
Yeah.
table.
Takeaway advice: wear a mask if you're going to be engaging in intimate intercourse.
Double
each other.
bath or doggy style. Which
If you
one?
take anything from this,
Thank you for visiting our last podcast on Table for Five.
Did you say-
We've appreciated the support. It's meant a lot to us.
Kara just said, great advice. She'll take it.
Good. Also use
You're
the
welcome.
protection. Also use the face protection and the other protection. So much advice from this No Reservation episodes. Take what you will.
Well,
Yeah.
have a good week, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, don't listen
Hey.
to the CDC. Just give me a call.
Give
guys,
Kim
Can
a
you
call.
do a
Go,
quick
Kim.
shout out? Because I know that we have a couple of gentlemen.
Cameron.
You're right.
Person in the
Cam.
bright block one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cam.
we just wanna thank you for listening there, buddy.
Cameron,
you're out there.
yes. Thank you
Cameron.
for enjoying this podcast.
All right,
You're
everyone.
done.
Thank you for joining us. We will see you next time.
Love.
Series 9.
Talking,
you
we're
believe
we're talking love in February, people.
Oh,
love
So
sweet.
get-
oh, yeah, I got a lot to contribute to that that's coming up. Yes, I do. All right,
Boom,
everyone.
boom.
Thank you. Have a great whoop, whoop. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining us at the table for our 8th series, Hear Me Roar. Stay tuned for more, and while you wait, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Individually, you can find Jennifer Dunn at keepingupwithkaya.com, Keeping Up with Kaya on Facebook and Instagram. Rachel Flanagan is at flanaville.com, Flanaville on Facebook, and Flanaville3 on Instagram. You can find Kimberly McIsaac at autismadventureswithalyssa.com, Autism Adventures with Alyssa on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. Jamie Ramos is at jamieramoswrites.com. Jamie Ramos Writes on Facebook and Instagram. Tabitha Cabrera is at pieceofautism.com, Piece of Autism on Facebook, and the same on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us at the table for this series. We love sitting with you, and we can't wait to again. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.